Now, two Metropolitan Police officers who carried out a stop and search of two black athletes in West London have been fired for gross misconduct. It's the British World Championship medalist Bianca Williams and Portugal Olympic sprinter Ricardo Dos Santos say they were racially profiled when they were handcuffed and searched on suspicion of having drugs outside of their home back in 2020. Nothing was found on them during the search. And after a disciplinary hearing, Constables Jonathan Clapham and Sam Franks have today been dismissed from the force. Ricardo Dos Santos spoke after the verdict where he highlighted the prejudice that black people face.
They are 9 times more likely to be stopped by the Met and 3 times more likely to be handcuffed. The allegations made by the police officers that I was guilty of bad driving, threatening violence and drugs were dishonest. I believe these are false allegations and were based on racist stereotypes and show very little that has changed in policing in London since the Stephen Lawrence case.
Well, following the misconduct hearing, we have had a statement from the Deputy Assistant Commissioner, Matt Ward. He says, Mr Dos Santos and Ms Williams deserve better. I apologise to them for the distress they've suffered. He goes on to say, today's findings highlight that we still have a long way to go to earn the trust of our communities, particularly our black communities, when it comes to the use of stop and search. Well, joining me now is the former Met Police Detective Peter Bleksley. Peter, from your perspective, your experience, what went wrong here?
Well, for many years, many members of the black community have been hugely irritated by police officers stopping and searching them on the grounds that the officers said, we smelt cannabis. And many people have regarded that as being untrue. What we can take from this case today, albeit the Met Police's statement on it has been rather scant, is that these two officers who have been fired said they smelt cannabis, and that clearly it must be the opinion of the tribunal that they did, and that they made those words up, that was a fib, a lie, an untruth, in order to try and justify what was a completely unjustified stop and search of two professional athletes and their car. So another dark day for the Met, but if there is something positive to come out of this, I hope that all officers are listening, and any officers who would ever dream of doing something as dishonest in saying that they smelt cannabis to carry out a stop and search will now not ever do that.
The other positive, I guess we have to say, Peter, is that the Met have identified and that these police officers, it appears, didn't tell the truth, and so they've been fired. That's the right course of action.
Oh, absolutely. So for the good cops, it's a good day on a very, very dark day for policing, because another police officer, a paedophile police officer from Wales, was sentenced to life imprisonment today. And another broadcaster has compiled a list this afternoon of 30 paedophile police officers convicted since the start of last year. So if there weren't other very serious matters on the news agenda today, it would be a catastrophic day for policing in media terms. This, however, is good that they've got the wrong one, they've got the wrong uns out of the police service, and let's hope that there is kind of progress made. But again, the statement by the senior police officer that says, particularly with black communities, they've got to do more. There's an awful lot of white people out there who are utterly dismayed by their police service, particularly the Met, the service they don't receive, the investigations they don't get when they report crime, and the Met, quite frankly, remains in special measures and in crisis.
Yeah, I mean, the Met have said, look, we've still got a long way to go to earn trust. What do you think, Peter, in terms of what Sir Mark Rowley particularly is trying to do in terms of saying, look, if there are areas of concern, we are investigating and we will do that as quickly as we can because we realise that we need the trust from the public to be restored. Do you think the kind of processes that the Met are using are sufficient?
Policing is broken unless they completely overhaul the selection, recruitment, training, vetting, supervision, management, all those aspects of policing need a thorough, complete overhaul, in fact. Then these issues are going to just keep cropping up time and time and time again. Then we have the issue of whistleblowers, who are often regarded more as being the problem rather than the solution. So until there are widespread, practical and cultural changes within the Met and policing throughout the UK, public trust and confidence is going to continue to tank. And I think that the whole concept of policing by consent is hanging by a thread, if in fact that thread hasn't already broken.
Peter Bleksley, thank you very much. A former Met police officer on the news that 2 Met officers have been found guilty. They've been fired for gross misconduct.